मॉर्निंग जी। दोस्तों, भूपेश आनंद, मैं सीए, मैं सीएस, मैं सीएमए, मैं एसीसीए, मैं ही लंदन, मैं ही अमेरिका। बेटा, I did so many different courses because I have cleared my basic logics. So today's lecture number 10th is specifically for you. Because I want to clear your foundation, I want to prepare a strong foundation for algebraic method because we have to do algebraic method. हमें एल्जेब्रिक मेथड करना है। अभी तक मैं एल्जेब्रिक में पहुंचा नहीं, बताऊंगा। आप पहले रजिस्टर ओपन कर लें। लेक्चर नंबर 10, उम्मीद है कि आपने लेक्चर नंबर 9 को बड़े ध्यान से, प्यार से इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड की बातें समझी होंगी। I have given the price elasticity of demand, cross price elasticity of demand, income price elasticity of demand. आपके कोर्स में जस्ट प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड थी, मैंने फिर भी जान के थोड़ा सा ज़्यादा बताया कि आपको लॉजिकली और ज़्यादा चीज़ें क्लियर हो। ओनली यू हैव टू डू प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी। विद इन दैट इनइलास्टिक का मीनिंग क्या है, इलास्टिक का मीनिंग क्या है, फॉर्मूलाज क्या है। अभी हम कैप्लन के बीबीपी के क्वेश्चंस करने वाले हैं। आज के लेक्चर में नहीं करेंगे, बट आई विल बी डूइंग विद इन 1 or 2 लेक्चर्स। ये मुझे मालूम है, आप उसकी बिल्कुल टेंशन मत लेना। अभी आप अपने कंसेप्ट को क्लियर करते जाओ बस। तो आप सभी के सभी मेरे साथ इस समय ग्रेट गुड मॉर्निंग कर रहे हैं। लेक्चर नंबर 10 की तरफ हम बढ़ रहे हैं और लेक्चर नंबर 10 में मैंने बेटे आपको लिखा है प्राइसिंग डिसीजंस। मतलब आपको डिसाइड करना है एज पर डिमांड बेस्ड अप्रोच। एंड लेक्चर 8, लेक्चर 9 और ये लेक्चर नंबर 10 है। और मुझे लगता है नेक्स्ट लेक्चर नंबर 11 भी। बेटे ये 4 लेक्चर्स आपका फाउंडेशन स्ट्रॉन्ग करेंगे। फिर लेक्चर 12 से मैं आपको बताऊंगा कैप्लॉन में कि वो एल्जेब्रिक मेथड क्या है, जिसकी इतने दिनों से बातें हो रही हैं। एल्जेब्रिक मेथड क्या है। फिर लेक्चर 13 में देखेंगे टेबुलर मेथड क्या है। वो जल्दी जल्दी हो जाएंगे बिकॉज योर कंसेप्ट्स आर क्लियर। आप सब रजिस्टर ओपन कर चुके हैं मेरे साथ, कमर सीधी करके, स्पाइनल कॉर्ड बिल्कुल सीधी करके, टेबल चेयर में बैठ के आप पढ़ रहे हैं। आप बैठे हैं, मैं खड़ा हूं। ठीक है सर, आइए मैं बिल्कुल चल पड़ा जी अपनी कहानी की तरफ। And we have started from lecture 8 about demand approach, demand based approach for calculating the prices. And I have devoted lecture 8, lecture 9, today is lecture number 10. बेटे आज के इस लेक्चर नंबर 10 में भी मैं आपको बड़ी छोटी छोटी सी माइक्रो इकोनॉमिक्स की बातें बताऊंगा। मैं डिमांड से रिलेटेड बातें बताऊंगा, मैं मार्जिनल कॉस्ट से रिलेटेड बातें बताऊंगा, मैं आपको टोटल कॉस्ट की बातें बताऊंगा, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट की बातें बताऊंगा, फिक्स कॉस्ट की बातें बताऊंगा, एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट की बताऊंगा। आई विल टेल यू दैट व्हाई मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इज यू शेप, भूपेश आनंद बताएगा। एंड व्हाट इज द मीनिंग ऑफ दैट मिनिमम पॉइंट, भूपेश आनंद बताएगा। एंड व्हेन दैट मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू एंड मार्जिनल कॉस्ट इंटरसेक्ट ईच अदर, why that point is named as optimum point, what is marginal revenue, what is marginal cost, and what are the cost curves। पहले हम उन सभी बातों को लॉजिकली सीखेंगे, उसके बाद एल्जेब्रिक मेथड करेंगे। बेटे मैंने आपके लिए एक मटका प्रिपेयर किया, डिमांड बेस्ड अप्रोच फॉर प्राइस। देयर आर 2 अप्रोचेस फॉर दैट। वन इज द एल्जेब्रिक अप्रोच, सेकंड इज द टेबुलर अप्रोच। विद इन एल्जेब्रिक अप्रोच देयर इज अ डिमांड, देयर इज अ प्राइस इक्वेशन, there is a elasticity which we have already seen in lecture number 8 and 9. In today's lecture I will be covering with marginal cost, and in the next lecture I will be covering about marginal revenue, and then I will be coming to the optimum point. So let me tell you that because I want to start with the marginal cost, मैं सीधा marginal cost बताऊंगा, आपको समझ ही नहीं आएगा। वैसे मैंने बड़े सारे lectures में चैप्टर नंबर 1 में रिवीजन ऑफ एमए में बताया हुआ है, बट मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि आप शायद भूल गए होंगे। तो मुझे मार्जिनल कॉस्ट से पहले आपको ये बताना है कि टोटल कॉस्ट क्या होती है। आपको बताना है व्हाट इज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, वेरिएबल कॉस्ट का ग्राफ कैसे होता है, व्हाट इज फिक्स कॉस्ट, फिक्स कॉस्ट का ग्राफ कैसे बनाते हैं, टोटल कॉस्ट क्या होती है, एवरेज कैसे निकालते हैं, मार्जिनल क्या होती है। तो बेटे आप ऊपर लिखेंगे, तो कहते हैं लिखेंगे पढ़ेंगे तो बनेंगे होशियार, ज्यादा बातें समझ आएंगी। अंडरलाइन करके, खाली वीडियो देखकर, मोबाइल में चैटिंग करके कुछ भी समझ नहीं आने वाला। आप अपने साथ धोखा कर रहे हो। मेरे साथ क्या धोखा बेटे दोस्त, F5 की दोबारा से फीस पे करनी पड़ेगी। यू हैव टू पे इन पाउंड्स। तो ऊपर लिखिए मार्जिनल कॉस्ट, ऊपर लिखिए मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू, और नीचे लिखिए वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, फिर लिखिए फिक्स कॉस्ट, फिर लिखिए टोटल कॉस्ट, फिर लिखिए एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, फिर लिखिए मार्जिनल कॉस्ट, एंड देन यू हैव टू राइट डाउन कॉस्ट कर्व्स। ये सारी बातें आज के लेक्चर में और नेक्स्ट लेक्चर तक आपको पता चलेंगी। मुझे ऐसा लगता है आज के लेक्चर में पता चल जाएंगी। और बेटे बड़ा ब्यूटीफुल, मैंने एक पर्टिकुलर कोर्स में एक ये पर्टिकुलर पूरा सब कुछ मैंने डिटेल में एक्सप्लेन किया, आपको उतना डिटेल में नहीं, तो इसलिए मैंने थोड़ा सा पार्ट क्लिप को काटा है और इसके साथ अटैच किया। क्या करूं, आपको बेस्ट देने की इच्छा है ना, तो आप सब लिखेंगे ऊपर मार्जिनल कॉस्ट, आप लिखेंगे मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू, आप लिखेंगे वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, आप लिखेंगे फिक्स कॉस्ट, आप लिखेंगे टोटल कॉस्ट, आप लिखेंगे एवरेज वेरिएबल कॉस्ट, आप लिखेंगे मार्जिनल कॉस्ट, कॉस्ट कर्व्स। अब देखिए जी, एक बात मैं आपको सबको बता दूं कि ये सारी बातें आपके बीबीबी में भी हैं और कैप्लॉन में भी हैं। देखिए कैप्लॉन का आपके सामने मैंने पूरा का पूरा वो मटेरियल ओपन कर दिया। डिमांड बेस्ड अप्रोच में उसने उन्होंने लिखा था इकोनॉमिस्ट व्यू। इकोनॉमिस्ट में उन्होंने सबसे पहले दे हैव गिवन व्हाट इज डिमांड कर्व और हाउ वी कैन प्रिपेयर अ प्राइस इक्वेशन। लेक्चर 8 में पूरा डिटेल में डिस्कस किया, उन्होंने क्या बताया होगा। फिर उसके बाद सीधा ही अलजेब्रिक मेथड में आ गए। अच्छा, सीधा अलजेब्रिक में आ गए, लॉजिक्स नहीं बताया, कंसेप्ट नहीं बताया, सीधा मार्जिनल कॉस्ट में आ गए। और मार्जिनल कॉस्ट का कर्व यू शेप ही क्यों होता है और मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू क्या होता है, ये क्रॉस ऑप्टिमम पॉइंट क्यों होता है, व्हाई दिस पॉइंट इज ऑप्टिमम, व्हाट इज मार्जिनल कॉस्ट, व्हाट इज मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू, हाउ वी हैव डिटरमाइंड दैट, नहीं पता चाहे बताया इन्होंने, बट उसको समझे बिना आप कर ही नहीं सकते। तो मैंने क्या किया, पहले आपको इक्वेशन बताई, ए की बात बताई, बी की बात बताई, इनका इनवर्स रिलेशनशिप बताया, फिर हमने लास्ट लेक्चर में लेक्चर 8 में इसकी इक्वेशन को ड्रॉ किया, एंड आफ्टर दैट आई स्टार्टेड विद द इलास्टिसिटी ऑफ डिमांड। इलास्टिसिटी के बाद मैंने प्राइस इलास्टिसिटी बताया, इलास्टिक डिमांड बताई, इनइलास्टिक बताया। अब सवाल ये आता है कि मैं इसके बाद सीधा ये इलस्ट्रेशन अभी भी नहीं कर सकता जहां पर इन्होंने लिखा है मार्जिनल रेवेन्यू मार्जिनल कॉस्ट। आई विल बी डूइंग इट, मैं करूंगा, बट यार कुछ लॉजिक्स तो समझ आए आपको, है ना। तो मैं अभी इस ग्राफ को कैसे प्रिपेयर किया, ये मार्जिनल कॉस्ट का ग्राफ बना कैसे है, हाउ दे हैव प्रिपेयर्ड दैट। So I will be devoting today's lecture for that. Firstly, I will be explaining marginal cost, and then I will be explaining marginal revenue, and then I will be following algebraic method. आपको बड़ा अच्छा लगने वाला है, आप बिल्कुल पॉजिटिव होकर जो बातें मैंने अभी बतानी है उसको नोट्स प्रिपेयर करना, फायदे में रहोगे। ज़्यादा समझदारी मत दिखाना, नहीं तो दोबारा से पाउंड्स देने पड़ेंगे, ठीक है। जल्दी से रजिस्टर ओपन कर दो और लिखना शुरू कर दो। Remain fixed irrespective of production, whether you are producing anything or whether you are not producing anything, whether you are producing up to 0% or maximum up to installed capacity, the cost will remain same. That cost is named as fixed cost. So please write on A point those costs which do not vary directly with the quantity produced. It means with the quantity produced they will not directly vary, that are named as fixed cost, rent, salaries, depreciation on plant and machinery, etc. Now the point is, what is the meaning of total fixed cost? When I say total fixed cost remains same, but fixed cost per unit will decline as I increase number of units produced. As I increase my number of units produced, my fixed cost per unit will decline. So say in B example I have given that let the fixed cost be $10,000. Now, if I produce 1 unit, then also I am incurring total fixed cost as $10,000. If I am producing 2 units, 10 units, 100 units, supposedly my maximum installed capacity is 1,000 units. Still then, I am incurring 10,000 as a fixed cost. So see in the nature of fixed cost per unit, that is decreasing. Firstly, 10,000, then 1,000, then 100, and then 10. So that is fixed cost per unit. This is total fixed cost, and this is units of production. So please write down and note down this example. Please, total fixed cost remains same, but fixed cost per unit declines as there is increase in production. It means total fixed cost will remain same, but fixed cost per unit will decline as I increase the number of units produced. My fixed cost per unit will decline. So see the graph I have prepared for you. On x-axis I have taken quantity, on y-axis I have taken price. This is total fixed cost which is parallel to x-axis. That is $10,000. If I assume that my total fixed cost will be 10,000, so this is $10,000. It will remain same irrespective of production. Fixed cost per unit is decreasing as my level of production is increasing. Just see, fixed cost per unit is being decreasing. Just see here also 10,000, 1,000, 110. So as an analyst, and as an analyst, I should be aware of which type of cost, or what is the nature of that, what is the classification of that, how we treat it in real life. So first point is I have to, today I have to tell you these three concepts. One is the total cost. Firstly, I will be telling you total cost. Within this, I will be telling you fixed cost, and then variable cost, and then the total of these two, total cost, and then average variable cost, then average fixed cost, and then average total cost, and then last I will tell you the nature of marginal cost, and I will draw all the three curves. Very simple. So first point which I have discussed just now is fixed cost. Fixed cost is that cost which remain fixed whether you produce or not produce. It means it will remain same up to that installed capacity level, that is named as fixed cost. And fixed cost per unit declines as I increase my level of production. Okay, so let's move to next part of cost, that is variable cost. As the name indicates, vary. The cost which varies with the production. If I increase the production, my cost will increase. Raw material cost, labor cost, that cost will increase. And if I decrease the production, my cost will decrease. That type of cost is named as variable cost. So second point, those types of costs which are directly related with quantity produced. I am telling you about variable cost. Those types of cost like direct material, direct labor, direct expenses, those types of costs which are directly related to production with quantity produced are named as variable cost. For example, raw material, labor cost, and these are my variable costs. So what is total cost? Very simple. Fixed cost, I have told you that this is fixed cost, it will remain same. This is variable cost. Now fixed cost plus variable cost, if I total it, it is total cost. Total cost. So please write in the formula, total fixed cost plus total variable cost is total cost. Now how to draw it graphically, that is very important. So I have taken x-axis quantity demanded, and on y-axis I have taken price. Just see, firstly I have drawn total fixed cost which is parallel to x-axis, then I have drawn total variable cost. Total variable cost, just see, firstly it is increasing, then decreasing, and then increasing. It means we cannot say that variable cost will always remain, variable cost per unit will always remain same. No, it can increase or it can decrease, but firstly it will decrease and then it will increase. I will tell you the reason that why variable cost, why total variable cost firstly decreases and then increases. And very simple, average this total cost, that is total of variable cost, total variable cost plus total fixed cost, that is equal to total cost. So just see, x-axis quantity, y-axis price. Firstly I have drawn total variable cost, then I have drawn total cost, and total cost is the total of total variable plus total fixed. So that is total cost. So this point is very important. Please write down. It is not important that there has to be a linear relationship. It means it is not important that whenever I increase the production, my variable cost will increase. To some extent, sometimes it decreases also. The linear relationship, it means variable cost per unit might increase or might decrease. Just see here in the graph, just see, even if I see in the Google, that just see, variable cost is firstly decreasing and then increasing. Variable cost is firstly decreasing and then increasing. This is average fixed cost. This is variable cost. Okay, I want to show you, I will not show you firstly the average part, rather I will be showing you total variable cost. Okay, okay, this is total variable cost, this is fixed cost. Just see, the fixed cost is parallel to x-axis, and then total variable cost, firstly it is decreasing and then it is increasing. Firstly it is decreasing and then increasing. And just see the total cost. The total cost is the total of total fixed cost plus total variable cost. But just see, the distance here, the distance here is how much, and the distance here, The distance in this area and this area is same, but the distance here, that is the distance between total cost and total variable cost, and total cost and total variable cost. The distance here is lower than distance here, this distance. I will tell you what is the relevance for that. So I think you must be preparing the graph. Please prepare it, my dear friend. I have told you, I have shown you the correct picture. No, no doubt it is. I have drawn it by hand. It may give no, it may not give you that impression, but for that I have shown you this Google Baba. Just see again. Please prepare. Please prepare as per this Google Baba. X-axis is quantity, y-axis is cost, price, and this is total fixed cost. Just see the variable cost, just see the total cost. Now total cost will start from where total fixed cost will be there, because if there is 0 units produced, then variable cost will be 0, but total fixed cost will still be entered, because total fixed cost is always fixed. It is irrespective of production. So total cost, total variable cost, total fixed cost. It is not important that there has to be really linear relationship. It means variable cost per unit might increase or decrease at some stage. Now, so I have discussed three types of cost, my dear sir. First is I have discussed fixed cost, then I have discussed variable cost, and then I have discussed total cost. Now I am on to second concept, that is average cost. How to calculate average? It is very simple. When I say average, it means total variable cost divided by number of units produced. Total average fixed cost, total fixed cost divided by number of units produced. Average total cost divided by number of units produced. That is named as average. So just see, just write down, start writing down something about average. Average cost. Now average cost is composite of three, three. I will be discussing three headings within average cost. One is average variable cost, second is average fixed cost, and third is average total cost. So average variable cost, it is variable cost per unit of output. Again I am telling you, when I say average, it means I am calculating average. How I can calculate average? Total variable cost divided by total number of units produced. That will be average cost. You are getting my point? So if I want to calculate average variable cost, then total variable cost divided by number of units produced, the balancing figure will be average cost per unit. So write down fifth point, average variable cost. It is variable cost per unit of output. It first decreases and then increases. It first decreases and then increases. It first decreases and then increases with greater quantities. It means this cost, firstly it will increase and then firstly, just see, firstly it is decreasing. At firstly it will decrease and then it will increase with the greater quantities. I will show you this point. You have to remember that average variable cost will firstly decrease and then increase with the greater quantity because of two reasons. The first reason I have written, I have shown you the diminishing marginal productivity and diseconomies of scale. This can be diseconomies of scale. And second is diminishing margin of returns. For example, in festival season, when I increase my production, I have to appoint seasonal labor and I have to pay more to them. So when my production increases in the festival season, in the Diwali season, in the Raksha Bandhan, in each season, I have to pay more. In that case, my per unit average variable cost will increase. But firstly it will decrease and then it will increase. Now why it increases? It increases due to so many reasons. First point is due to diseconomies of scale, and second reason is due to diminishing return of productivity. I have told you that whenever you are employing more number of workers, the output will decline, because there is a law named as diminishing marginal productivity, that my productivity will decline if I employ more number of laborers. So I have told you about average variable cost. So please write down about average fixed cost. It is fixed cost per unit of output. It is fixed cost per unit of output and declines with greater quantities of output. Please write down. It is fixed cost per unit of output. When I say average fixed cost, it means total fixed cost upon number of units. Now it will decline. I have shown you that example, that when total fixed cost is 10,000, and if I want to calculate per unit, then it will decline as my production increases. My fixed cost per unit will decline. So write down 6 point. It is fixed cost per unit of output and declines with greater quantities of output. Okay. Now, very simple. When I have discussed average variable cost, when I have discussed average fixed cost, now what is average total cost? Average variable cost plus average fixed cost, that is average total cost. So it is the total cost per unit of output, and it is equal to average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Very simple. Average fixed cost plus average variable cost. Just see the graph which I have prepared. Very important for you. X-axis. When I say price, it means cost also. X-axis, just see, I have taken quantity, and in Y-axis I have taken price or cost. Firstly, see average fixed cost. I have told you that average fixed cost per unit will firstly, it will decline as the number of units being produced. And second is average variable cost. It will firstly decline and then it will increase because of diseconomies of scale and marginal diminishing productivity. So when I add average variable cost and average fixed cost, the total will be average total cost. Now why average total cost firstly declines and then increases? Just see, firstly average total cost is declining. Firstly, average total cost is declining and then it is increasing, as in case of average variable cost also. So the point is, it is declining because if you see the distance, this distance of fixed cost and this distance, the above distance is more. It means it will decline. But as we move further, just see this distance between the average variable cost and average total cost. This distance has become smaller as compared to here. There is a larger distance. There is a smaller distance. So there can be 2-3 reasons for that. That why average total cost firstly decreases and then increases. So please prepare this graph, my dear friend. It is very important that you should prepare it. I will be showing you accurate figure from Google Baba. Actually, I have prepared that very accurately, but still, just have a look in this. Just see. This is average fixed cost. The first curve is average fixed cost as I am going in increasing production. The second is average variable cost, and the third is average total cost. Just see the distance here, the distance here, and the distance here. Or I will show you this point here also, that how much is the distance. That distance is important. Okay, I have seen it. I will show you. Yes, I think you must have prepared this. So let's move to next point. So this I have discussed about average cost. Now, what are the interpolations for that? These are testable in the examination, and you should write down all the interpolations. These are important. The first interpolation is the first vertical difference between ATC and ABC. That is average total cost and average fixed variable cost. It means the distance between the average total cost and average variable cost is of average fixed cost. This is very simple. We know that average variable cost plus average fixed cost is equal to average total cost. So what is the distance between average total cost and average variable cost? That distance is average fixed cost. Second point, average fixed cost is decreasing. I have shown you average fixed cost is decreasing. Just see, average fixed cost is decreasing. Average fixed cost is decreasing. Average fixed cost is decreasing as I am producing more number of units. Okay. So what is the interpolation for that? As quantity produces increasing, as long as I am not planning to buy a new plant or a machinery, this will decrease. Okay. C point. Average variable cost. Now, what is the average variable cost? Firstly, the average variable cost will decrease and then it will increase. So, C point, average variable cost in the initial stage of manufacturing, will decline. in average, but after some time, due to diseconomies of scale and due to marginal diminishing productivity, it will start increasing. Okay, average total cost, there will be decline in ATC and then it will increase again. ATC will decline and then it will increase, and there are 2-3 reasons for that. The first reason is the distance between. Firstly, the distance was wider, and then the distance was very smaller. Just see reason A, fixed cost per unit and variable cost per unit are decreasing, because at beginning fixed cost per unit is decreasing as I increase the production, and variable cost is also decreasing firstly, because it is only after that it will increase. So because both are decreasing, and hence it ought to be that average total cost will decrease. But then fixed cost is decreasing, but variable cost is increasing, and the distance of average fixed cost, that is very smaller as compared to the average variable cost. So it tend to amounts to increase in average total cost. So just write on reason A, fixed cost per unit and variable cost per unit are decreasing, and the distance, reason B, the distance between ATC and ABC is higher, then this distance is lower. Okay, last concept of today's lecture is marginal cost. So I have told you what is the meaning of total cost. Within that I have told you total variable cost, total fixed cost, total cost. Then I have told you average variable cost, average fixed cost, average total cost. Now I am on to marginal cost, and then I will be discussing the nature of marginal cost, that what is marginal cost and how it will cut the other cost, at which point it will intersect. So next point is marginal cost. Marginal cost is increase in total variable cost or or total cost. Marginal cost is increase in the total variable cost for one more additional unit of output. I have already told you in marginal revenue, the revenue which I am generating by selling one more unit, that is marginal revenue. And similarly, for producing one more unit of output, that is named as marginal cost. So just see the example. Suppose for producing 10 units, total variable cost is $150, and for producing 11 units I have to incur $164. It means for producing one more unit I have to incur $14, and that $14 is the marginal cost. Suppose for producing 10 units total variable cost is $150, and for producing 11 units total variable cost is $164. So marginal cost is cost for producing one more unit, that is $14. Now this point is very, very highly important and highly testable. So it is my request to you that please write on this ninth point. For a given level of fixed cost, marginal cost will firstly decreases. Again the same concept. I have told you variable cost, average variable cost, firstly it will decrease, then increase. Average total cost, firstly it will increase, then decrease. And similarly, even total variable cost decrease, then increase. Total cost decrease, then increase. Similar is with marginal cost. Firstly it will decrease and then it will increase. So for a given level of fixed cost, it means the fixed cost is same. Marginal cost will firstly decrease and then begin to increase. Now, why so? I have given the example. An entity is producing existing level of 10 units at the rate of 6 per unit. But if the entity is producing 11 units at the rate of 55.0, so I will say the marginal cost is 5 rupees 50 paisa for one additional unit. So why it is so? That I have shown it with the help of example, with the help of curves. Just see, I have already told you that average variable cost. I have already told you average total cost. Now it is the time for marginal cost. Marginal cost is the cost which is incurred for producing one more unit of production. And just see, firstly the marginal cost is decreasing and then increasing in the pink color, and it is intersecting average variable cost and intersecting average total cost. Now see the points. I have mentioned A and B. At point A, it is intersecting average variable cost, and that is the lowest point of average variable cost. Even just see, it is intersecting average total cost at point B, and point B is the lowest of average total cost. The point which I want to tell you, that you have to remember for the examination, that marginal cost will intersect average variable cost and average total cost at their lowest values. So please firstly prepare this graph. A, B, quantity and that lower value, And last point is only these two interpretations, then you will see actual from Google Baba. Both ABC and ATC are at this minimum value when they are equal to marginal cost. It means ABC means average variable cost. ATC means average total cost. Both are at their minimum values when they are equal to marginal cost, or I can say marginal cost will intersect at the lower values. Point of intersection of marginal cost at ABC and ATC are different. So these are the 2 points which are to be taken care of. Even I have mentioned the point number A. Just see, this is the point of intersection for average variable cost, and this is the point of intersection for average total cost. So these points are also different, but marginal cost is cutting these two curves at their minimum points, and those two minimum points are different. So just for a second, I want to tell you something from this Google Baba, that how marginal cost. Just see, this is a marginal cost. Just see, this is fixed cost. This is fixed cost. This is average variable cost, this is average total cost, and just see, this marginal cost is intersecting this point at its lowest point, and average total cost curve also at its lowest point. But this point is different and this point is different. This point is different. Let it be A and let it be B. If I want to draw a perpendicular from this to this and this to this, I can say that these points are different. So it means marginal cost is a curve which intersect at the lowest point, and both the lowest are different and both the points are different. Be happy, be jolly.